Hello everyone, I'm Needu, your English teacher. How are you? I hope you all are fine and safe at home. And today we are moving to the second part of our chapter. Its name is Black Aeroplane. This is a mysterious story. The writer was flying his Dakota aeroplane. It's the name of an aeroplane. Suddenly, he was caught in a big cloud and his compass, radio, and all other instruments dead. That means it failed. There was not much fuel in his plane. Okay, suddenly he saw a black aeroplane near him. The pilot in that aeroplane guided him. As a result, he was able to land very safe. But he was greatly surprised when the woman at the control center told him that there had been no other plane except the writer's Dakota on the sky that night. Okay. Now we can move to the detailed explanation of the chapter. This is how our chapter begins. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. So it's night time. A pilot is speaking. Okay, the pilot who is there inside the plane is speaking to us. The moon was coming up in the east. That means he is saying that it's night time, and the stars were shining in the clear sky above me. Okay, that also denote it's night. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone high up above the sleeping countryside, and so happy to ride in such a clear weather. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. The sky is too clear, and the complete people in the country is sleeping, and he felt it's too comfortable. It's too happy to ride in such a weather. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. So he's the inside a Dakota aeroplane, name of an aeroplane. That's all. He is moving to England over France. He is moving through France. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. Now, some good thoughts are coming to his mind. What are those good thoughts? He is dreaming about the family and the good days which he is going to spend with them. Okay. I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning. So what's the time? He looked at the watch and the time is 1:30 in the morning. I should call Paris control soon. So he thought, yes, I should inform or I should give the signal that I should reach here at Paris. Oh, I'm passing through Paris. So I should call the control room of Paris, I thought. As I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane, I saw the lights of a big city in front of me. So he looked down and he saw the city which is very much lighted. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control, Dakota DS 088 here. Can you hear me? I'm on my way to England. Over. So he gave some signals and he informed them. Okay, first of all, he asked Paris control, is it Paris control? And I'm Dakota DS 088 here. And he's asking one more thing, can you hear me? And he informed what's the thing he needs to. I'm on my way to England, by saying that he stopped over. The voice from the radio answered me immediately. He got a sudden reply. Okay, what's that reply? DS 088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now. DS 088. Over. So one information is got to him. What's that? He should turn 12 degrees west and move towards Paris or move towards England. Okay. I checked the map and the compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank, and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. So he did the same. He did according to the what instructions he got. I'll be in time for breakfast, I thought. A good big English breakfast. Everything was going well. It was an easy flight. So again, his thoughts are moving. His thoughts are moving back to his family. Okay, so he's thinking about his family and the breakfast which is going to have with his loving family. And it would be a great time to spend time with them and all. And he thought about a big English breakfast. So about the snacks and about the food which is going to eat from there. Okay, everything was going well. So everything was going smooth and it was an easy flight. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds. So only 150 kilometers were there. to reach Paris. At that time, what happened? Some clouds neared this plane, storm clouds. They were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. So, like a big black mountain, these huge clouds engulfed this aeroplane. I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. So, really, he's caught inside that what dark black mountainous storm clouds. And he doesn't have much fuel in the plane also, one important thing. Okay, he doesn't have much fuel to go around that cloud, to escape from that cloud. He could not fly up and over them. We may be thinking why he might have why he couldn't escape from that cloud by changing his direction, but he can't do it because only a limited amount of fuel is there in the aeroplane, so he cannot move further. He just have to use the only limited fuel in the aeroplane to reach the destiny. Okay, so he knew he could not fly up and over them. He did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south, so he cannot change his direction. He ought to, I ought to go back to Paris, I thought, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. So he thought, I may just go back. But when he thought about the family and when he thought about the good English breakfast he's going to have with the family, he thought, no, I should not go back. And what he decided, I will take the risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. So he thought, I should not give up. I should not move back. I should not turn back. So what he did, he just flew through that storm, through that stormy clouds, black clouds. Now, where is he? Inside that clouds. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. So he's caught inside that black, stormy clouds. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. He can't see anything around. The old aeroplane jumped. Not only that, the aeroplane lost its balance too. Okay, the old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. Now he's looking at the compass. What happened to the plane and what's the direction? I couldn't believe what's the thing happened. This is a picture. What's the thing happened? I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. Now what happened? The compass is not working. It was dead. The compass is not working. So if the compass is not working, he can't understand to which direction he should move. Okay, so the compass dead. Only limited fuel is there in his aeroplane. So these two problems are there. It would not work. What? This compass. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio. So he tried to contact the control room through the radio, but the radio also stopped working. Everything suddenly dead. Paris control, can you hear me? Anyhow, he's trying once again to connect with the paper, but of no use. There was no answer. The radio was dead too. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. That's his condition. The radio is not working, compass is not working, and he can't understand where he is. I was lost in the storm. Really, he's been lost. Then, in the black clouds, quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. Suddenly, he saw another aeroplane through that storm. Okay, through that dark black clouds, he saw another aeroplane. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. That aeroplane, there's a peculiarity, that aeroplane doesn't have light at the wings, but he can see that aeroplane flying very next to this aeroplane, to his Dakota aeroplane. Okay, I could see the pilot's face turned towards me. That pilot is looking at me. I was very glad to see another person. So, in such a dangerous situation, to see another person, it's too what consoling, isn't it? And he thought, oh, at last I'm saved. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. So he's just waving at him. Follow me, he was saying, follow me. So that pilot said, our pilot, to follow his plane. Okay. He knows that I am lost. I thought he's trying to help me. So he understood that, oh, that pilot understood that I'm lost in this, I lost my way. So that's why he's following that aeroplane. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. So what that pilot did, he began to fly in front of our Dakota aeroplane so that our Dakota can follow him. Okay, follow that aeroplane. Okay. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. Like an obedient child, this pilot is following that that stranger. Okay. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. Now, there was only enough fuel in the All Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. So still only a few more, but there was no much fuel. But to fly for 5 or 10 minutes, fuel is there in my aeroplane. He says, I was starting to feel frightened again. Only 5 or 10 minutes can be adjusted with this fuel. But then he started to go down, and I followed through the storm. Now that aeroplane began to go down through the storm. And what our pilot did, he also followed. He followed that aeroplane. Suddenly, I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of lights in front of me. Suddenly, he understood that he's been saved, or he's been rescued from that strange situation, okay, from the clouds. And he saw two long straight lines of lights in front of me. What's that? It was a runway, an airport. You know that. I was safe. He reached the airport. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. So he saw that aeroplane till the landing time, but suddenly when he searched that pilot, or when he searched that aeroplane, he couldn't find that aeroplane or the pilot. The sky was empty. There was nothing there. He couldn't find anybody. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see anywhere. But till the last moment till that landing time, he saw that aeroplane. But after landing, he couldn't see anyone. That pilot or the black aeroplane. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. So he landed very safe and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota. What it means, he thought to thank that that pilot. So he went near the control tower and he asked to that lady who is there in the control center. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was. He inquired about that place and all, where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. So he said, I just want to know who is that pilot and where's this place. I just wanted to thank him for that. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. So the lady who is there in the control tower, who is there in the control center, laughed at this pilot, laughed at him. What's the thing? She says, another aeroplane? Up there in the storm. No other aeroplanes were flying tonight. What she said? Another aeroplane? Up there in this storm. In this storm, how can you see another aeroplane? There was no aeroplane flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. So, this lady said there was no such an aeroplane. So, who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio? And without any more fuel in my tanks? Such a question, big question, came to his mind. Then, Who helped me to arrive there safely? The compass was dead, radio was dead, no much fuel was there in the tanks. Then who helped me? Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying on the storm without lights? Who was that pilot with that strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? Who rescued this pilot? Can you guess? Huh? There's no answer for that question. Such a doubt, such a mysterious thing happened, and he doesn't know what's the real fact. Okay, so that's the chapter. So I'll give a quick summary of the chapter once again. The author says that he was flying an aeroplane at 1 o'clock at night. The moon was coming up in the east behind him and the stars were shining in the clear sky above him. He was flying his old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. Okay, he was dreaming of his holiday. He was looking forward to being with his family. Then he decided to call Paris Control. He then sent a message to them. He told that he was on his way to England, and the Paris Control accepted it, and they advised him to turn 12 degrees west. Then he turned to that direction and everything was going on well, and Paris was about 150 kilometers behind him. Then what happened? Suddenly he saw storm clouds and they looked like black mountains in front of him. He knew that he cannot he cannot fly up or over them, and he decided to go back to Paris, but he also wanted to reach home. Okay, so he took the risk and flew into the storm. And what's the reason? Because lack of fuel is a very important reason. Okay, he could see nothing outside his aeroplane. Everything was black. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air, and suddenly he looked at the compass and he understood that it's gone dead. He tried to contact that Paris control room, but he lost the complete connection with them also. Then what happened? Then in the black clouds, suddenly he saw another aeroplane. It had, what's the peculiarity? It had no lights on its wings, but he could see it flying next to him in the storm, and he became so happy to see another person in that difficult situation. And that pilot showed him a signal, isn't it? To follow him. The author thought, that means our pilot thought he was trying to help him, so he followed that aeroplane. He had fuel to last only for 5 or 10 minutes, and he began to feel frightened thinking about it. Suddenly that aeroplane began to go down, and he also followed that aeroplane, and he reached the runway. Okay, he looked for that aeroplane and that pilot, but why he searched for that? He wanted to thank him, isn't it? But the sky was empty, and he went into the control tower. He asked a woman at that control room where that pilot was, and she looked at him strangely, because what she told, there was no other aeroplane except that of his on that night. Okay, the author became so wonderstruck. He wondered who had helped him to arrive there. He was without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in his tank, and just a frightful thought came to his mind. Who was that pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? Can you guess who it may be? So that's all about the chapter, and I'm giving today's notes here. Please take down the notes from this video itself. Okay, thank you, and don't forget to read the textbook, and if you have any doubts, please contact me.